Hi, Camille and the Studio Birds here with another tutorial. This one is sometimes called an infinity card. I've always called it a Flexagon book. We're going to just look at a book that I have in my shop. It's called The Forest Queen, and it comes with a little slipcase and some directions on how to open and close your Flexagon. And here's the little book. And a Flexagon is just a book that has 4 pages where there should only be 2. So we start out with the first 2 pages, and then we can open it and end up with 4. It's a cool little book, and I think it's pretty easy to make. I have a pattern in my store on how to make the Flexagon, and so we're going to use that to see how that comes together. If you purchase my Flexagon pattern, you end up with 2 pieces. You end up with the Flexagon itself, or the infinity card, front and the back, as well as the hinge that allows you to secure it all together. So we're going to start out with the front of the Flexagon, and we're going to score the folding lines on there just to make that easier. You're going to need a few things to put this together, but not too many. Something to cut with, some sort of a bone folder, Teflon folder. I like to use the bone folder just because it has a more rigid, sharp end to make those scores. Some glue. I like to use PVA. You could use any glue that you choose, glue stick. And you're also going to need a ruler to use those score those lines. So we'll begin by just scoring those lines, and scoring just means that you hold your ruler on those fold lines and then draw down, and there's 3 of them here. And now we're ready to go ahead and cut out the book, and I've marked all those cut lines. So just line that up and use your knife and go all the way around. And then you're going to want to go ahead and cut out that hinge too. And I've already cut out the hinge. So here we have our pattern, and here we have our hinge. So we're ready to do the last part. You know, this is such an easy book to make, but I think one thing that really people stumble on is the printing of the book. It has to be printed with the front and the back exactly behind each other. And the pattern is set up so that they are exactly behind. But sometimes, depending on your paper feeder, or if you are doing manual feed and it gets off a little bit as you insert it for that second back side, you need to be really careful and make sure that's nice and snug, but not too snug, so that it prints front and back. Here you can see I didn't quite cut that. So there can be just a little slippage, and you can kind of get by with that little bit of slippage. But if you're off by a lot, it's just not going to line up, and it's not going to work out for you. So avoid the headaches of trying to put it together when it's not lined up, and just go ahead and print it again until you get something that's nice and lined up. So we're going to go ahead and start by cutting a C shape here, and you'll notice on the pattern that that C shape is outlined in blue, and you want to make sure that's really right on that blue line. And it's a C shape, not a square, so make sure you just follow that C shape. So there we have a little door. And now we're ready to begin the folding. And the folding isn't difficult, but you need to do it in a very precise way. So we're going to start out by just opening that door, and we've got a fold here that we've scored, and we're just going to fold that over. You can see how it's starting to come together, and we want to press that. And then we're going to go to the other side, and we're going to fold that piece over as well. and we're going to press that. Now we're going to take the whole thing and we're going to flip it over, and we're going to finish the last 2 folds. And so we're going to take that flap and bring it all the way around, kind of work it. And then the last fold is to the behind. So we're going to take that last piece and we're going to fold it together. You can see here how we have the 2 pages of the book. So right now it wouldn't work because there's nothing that secures it. So that's what we have this little flap for. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take a piece of paper, so I've got some waste paper underneath that, and I'm just going to use a little PVA on a brush, and I'm going to go ahead and apply it to the whole piece of this flap. I want to go all the way out to the edge. Make sure I've got a nice thin layer so that it's going to lay flat and cover completely up to the edge. And nice thin layer. Need a little bit more. And then we pick it up, and I like to try to lay it so that it matches the one below it. We're just going to lay it right on, try to get it right on top, line it up a little bit. Make sure you've got it side to side, and then just take your bone folder and press that down. And that secures it enough. I like to then go through and just press all these folds so that it opens and closes well. And we're ready to see how it works. So it's already wanting to Flexagon for me there. We've got the blue side. The first time you do it, I like to go through each fold and just burnish them down so that it doesn't catch. And then we have the green side. Same thing here. And then we can open it back out to the brown side. And oops, what we got going on here? Oh, the stickiness of our glue. We've got a little quick on our glue there. Should have let that dry a little bit. And then our last side. Hope you enjoyed putting together this Flexagon or Infinity card. You can see this pattern and others on my Etsy shop. I'll put the link below. Thanks for watching.